I figured out 4 verbal rules to make yourself untouchable in the corporate hierarchy without working harder, playing the model employee, or begging for a promotion. Right now, you are opening your mouth at work like it costs you nothing. You complain to your manager, you vent to HR, you demand fairness when someone else gets promoted, and while you are busy being authentic, the company is quietly building a case against you. You are not being honest. You are being an expendable pawn who doesn't understand the game being played around you. But here's the truth. It is not your fault. Nobody teaches you this. HR, your manager, your company, they all benefit from you staying quiet, compliant, and ignorant of how your own words are being used against you. In this video, I'll expose 4 deadly things you must never say at work to seize real leverage and protect your position before it's too late. Let's get started. 4. I'm stressed, anxious, or burnt out. Picture this. It is 4 p.m. on a Thursday. Your inbox is a nightmare. Your manager just dropped a massive spreadsheet on your lap, and you are running on caffeine and sheer panic. You finally snap. You walk into your manager's office, or worse, you walk into HR. You sit on that comfortable little couch. You let out a heavy sigh, and you tell them you are completely overwhelmed. You tell them you are stressed, anxious, and burning out. You think you are having a human moment. You think you are showing vulnerability. You think they are looking at you and feeling empathy, right? Wake up. They are not looking at a human being in pain. They are looking at a defective gear in their machine. Oh, look at Dave from accounting. Dave goes to HR crying about his workload, expecting a hug and a lighter schedule. Dave thinks he just found a corporate therapist. No. What Dave actually did was voluntarily hand the company the exact wording they need to start a paper trail against him. By admitting you are overwhelmed, you are giving them free ammunition. When HR hears anxious and burnt out, their brain translates that to liability and underperformance. They open a file. They write down that you verbally admitted you cannot handle your current job requirements. 3 months later, when you are fired, their legal defense will be bulletproof. They will sit in a room and say, "We didn't fire them unfairly. They admitted themselves they couldn't handle the job." Your temporary emotional relief just became your professional death warrant. Do you really think the VP of operations loses sleep over your mental health? They don't. They care about output. So stop speaking in feelings, start speaking in resource allocation. You must shift your identity from the emotional victim to the cold, strategic operator. When you are overloaded, you never ever say you cannot do something. You do not talk about your stress levels. You look your boss dead in the eye and you say, "I am currently driving Project X and Project Y to hit our quarterly targets. To execute this new task at the highest level, which of these current priorities are we pausing?" Did you catch that? You never said no. You never said you were tired. You forced them to make the hard business decision. You protected your capacity while looking like an absolute master of logistics and prioritization. You made your problem their problem, and you did it with zero emotion. 3, that is not my job. I see this terrible advice all over the internet right now. All these fake career coaches telling you to set healthy boundaries and act your wage. They tell you that if something isn't in your official job description, you should cross your arms and proudly declare that it is not your problem. If you want to stay broke and expendable for the rest of your life, go ahead and follow that advice. Believing your job description is a sacred protective contract is a naive myth for the working class. It is a piece of paper that became outdated the second you signed it. Because of at-will employment, your boss can change your duties whenever they want. When you refuse a task by saying, "That's not my job," management doesn't respect your so-called healthy boundaries. They label you with one deadly corporate word, insubordinate. You just painted a massive target on your back. You just handed them the silver platter they need to push you out the door during the next round of budget cuts. I used to do this early in my career. I would sit at my desk, clutching my little PDF job description like it was a holy text, aggressively refusing anything outside my lane. I thought I was protecting my time. I was completely blind to the fact that my boss was already drafting my replacement because I was too rigid to be useful. If you are still clinging to the illusion that doing the bare minimum will keep you safe, you are just a busy fool. And the only thing dumber than that is watching this video without hitting subscribe. Fix it. Here is what a corporate powerhouse does instead. They use the price tag tactic, and a corporate predator never flat out refuses work. They attach a strategic cost to it. When your boss hands you work that is clearly above your pay grade or dumps a massive project on you that belongs to someone else, you do not whine. You weaponize it. You smile and say, I can absolutely take ownership of this. Let's get 15 minutes on the calendar tomorrow to discuss how my successful execution of this project aligns with my transition to the senior role next quarter. You didn't reject the work. You priced it. You took their immediate need for your labor and turned it into a binding stepping stone for your own promotion. You are not doing extra work for free. You are doing an audition for the next tax bracket. You are building a track record of operating at a higher level so that when review season comes, they look ridiculous if they don't promote you. You turn their exploitation into your leverage. If you are still watching this, you already possess more strategic discipline than 90% of your coworkers. But pay close attention, because rule number 1 at the end of this video is the exact psychological paradigm shift that separates untouchable executives from easily replaceable pawns. Before we unlock that masterstroke, we need to dismantle a lethal trap you probably fell into just this week. 2, can we speak off the record? Or its equally dangerous cousin, just between us. Let me shatter a delusion you are carrying right now. Listen to me very carefully. There is no such thing as off the record inside a corporation. It does not exist. You walk into an HR office, the door is closed, the blinds are drawn. Linda from HR gives you a warm smile and asks how you are doing. You feel safe. You say, can I tell you something just between us? My boss is being totally unreasonable and I think he's targeting me. You think you just had a private venting session. You didn't. HR and management's paychecks come from protecting the business from legal liability, not from keeping your little secrets. The absolute second you ask to speak off the record to complain about a boss, a coworker, or a toxic dynamic, you are officially categorized as a walking liability. Linda will smile. Linda will hand you a tissue. And the moment you leave that room, Linda will immediately document every single word you said to build a defense against you. Do you seriously think anyone in HR is going to risk their 401k, their mortgage, and their career to protect your secret complaint about the marketing director? Absolutely not. The promise of confidentiality inside a corporate building has zero legal force. It is a psychological trick designed to make you spill your guts so the company knows exactly where the threats are. And right now, the threat is you. If you are treating your workplace like a confessional booth, you are actively sabotaging your own survival. The move here is what I call the calculated paper trail. You must operate under the assumption that every single word you say, every email you send, and every Slack message you type will eventually be read aloud in a courtroom or a termination meeting. If you must raise an issue because your boss is legitimately crossing lines, you strip away all of your emotion. You do not vent. You do not ask for a shoulder to cry on. You use exact cold legal triggers. Instead of walking in and whispering, my boss is so toxic, it's making me crazy, you send a documented email. You write, I am requesting clarification on the application of the company's overtime policy regarding recent weekend project demand. Look at the difference. One is a whiny employee who needs to be managed out. The other is a cold, calculated professional who knows their rights and leaves a paper trail that HR cannot ignore or twist. If your words do not serve a specific strategic, legal, or power play purpose, shut your mouth, smile politely, and build your exit strategy in the shadows. 1. This isn't fair. This is it. This is the ultimate separator between the corporate elite and the expendable pawns. You sit at your desk watching Chad get promoted to director. Chad is lazy. Chad takes long lunches. Chad steals your ideas. You storm into your manager's office, your face red, and you say the 3 most pathetic words in the English language. This isn't fair. I work twice as hard as Chad. The corporate system was never designed to be fair. It is not a meritocracy. It is not a classroom where the teacher gives you a gold star because you did all your homework. It is a ruthless, profit-driven autocracy designed to optimize output and consolidate power among the people at the top. Fairness is an emotional concept invented to keep the working class obedient. It is a plea from the powerless. Whining about fairness just proves to your leadership that you are completely clueless about how the game is actually played. They legally have the right to play favorites. They legally have the right to promote the guy they like playing golf with over the guy who works 80 hours a week in a cubicle. When you demand fairness, you do not look righteous. You expose yourself as weak, naive, and incredibly easy to replace. Stop crying about Chad. Chad doesn't care about fairness. Chad cares about leverage. You need to eradicate the word fair from your vocabulary forever. Erase it. The people at the top do not get promoted, protected, or paid massive bonuses because it is fair. They get it because it is far too dangerous or too expensive for the company to lose them. Stop asking what you deserve. Deserve has nothing to do with it. Start engineering what you can control. You need to build undeniable, irreplaceable leverage. How? You stop doing busy work and start hoarding critical institutional knowledge. You make sure you are the only one who knows how to operate the legacy software that handles the main client accounts. You stop trying to be best friends with your peers and start building vertical alliances with people 2 levels above your direct boss. You find out exactly what metric drives the bonus of your VP, and you align all your daily tasks to push that specific metric. You pivot away from administrative support tasks and aggressively insert yourself into the revenue-driving side of the business. When you are the person bringing in the money, or you are the person holding the keys to the critical operations, the rules change for you. You don't have to walk into an office and beg for fairness. Fairness is for victims. When you hold the leverage, you dictate the reality. They will bend the rules for you. They will find the budget for you. And if they don't, your leverage makes you highly desirable to their biggest competitor. The system was not built to reward your quiet loyalty. It was built to extract every ounce of your labor, feed it to the shareholders, and discard you the moment your output drops. So stop handing them the ammunition to destroy you. Control your tongue. Stop speaking in feelings. Stop demanding fairness. Start treating your career like a calculated political campaign. Build your leverage in the dark, secure your paper trail, and position yourself so that if they ever try to drop you, you have the power to drop them first. Start executing this tomorrow morning.